Today, I'm excited to have a guest, a friend of mine, Ranieri Mestroni of Astro Technologies, with us. Ranieri, thank you so much for being with us today.
Of course. Thank you so much for having me, Nick. Appreciate it.
Well, I'm excited about this show today because I consider you an AI expert, and I know that you and your company you work in AI every day. And we hear this. It doesn't matter where you go or what you do. You turn on the radio in the car, you turn your news on at night. It's all AI, AI, AI. So I thought it would be informative if we had you on and let's talk about AI just a little bit. What is AI? How do you see it? So, if you could, briefly tell us, I mean, um, in a language that we all can understand, don't get into that technology language because some of us may not be able to understand all that. But as you see it, what is AI?
Well, that's a very important topic and very interesting, especially lately, right? Where we are having AI every day pitching to us. So, in a nutshell, or in a very simplistic way, we need to think on AI as a very fast, well read assistant, an assistant that never sleeps, an assistant that read billions and billions of pages, images, all the information that is already in the internet, and pretty much all the information that humankind has developed across many centuries of humanity, right? AI is a software. It has the ability, because of have a lot of information in it, but also is very fast in making decisions. So a, it's a series of tools that help you in a daily life. I will get into more details, but I want you to think like this. AI is what few years ago was an electronic calculator. It's just a tool, okay? So the tool doesn't replace an accountant, but it makes it better for sure. So that, in a nutshell, I would say is AI.
I like that analogy, and I'll tell you why. I remember the first calculator that I bought back in the early 70s. I paid 90 something dollars for that little tiny calculator. Today, you can go to a trade show, they're giving them away, so it became part of how we do business today, the tools that we use. I had a friend of mine tell me that AI was simply Google on steroids. Uh, and I guess maybe that's one way that you can look at it. Um, in everyday applications for the everyday person out here, what, give me some examples of how a person, an everyday Joe, could use AI.
This is very interesting point, Nick. And the reality is that the average Joe, we average people, we're using it already every day. We're using it on Netflix. We're using it on music, in recommendations. We are using it in Spotify. That I was trying to remember that. But also we use it in the bank with the bank security. We use it on when we call customer services. So we are already embedded in the AI functionality. For example, many people use Siri or Alexa in order to power the voice assistant, right? So you talk to a machine and the machine turns on the light or things like that. So we are already using AI on a daily basis. Okay. So the most important thing is that people are already living inside the AI world. The problem is that we don't have a label for that until recently. But we were already engaging with AI since I would say in the past 20 years, where this technology has been evolving silently inside the business side, inside the certain services, but it was not as a general mainstream. We know it as it is today. Okay, so with that said, uh, the for the average person, what AI as we know it today can help? Well, I can think in several dimensions, Nick. One of them is education, educational research. When you want to learn a new skill, when you want to study about Europe, for example, when you are planning to go and visit Argentina, or then you can use AI and said, please tell me and program the next 5 days in my trip to Madrid, or what do I need to visit, a must see in London? So when you plan your trip in advance with AI, that is a great use. So I was saying, education, research, when you want to study, learn a new skill. Uh, Also, when you use your phone with Siri, that is powered with AI, help you summarize emails, help you obtain information from a PDF file, creating a pictures and so many usage. But for the average person, uh, there are so many use to help us understand the world a little bit better and faster.
You know, I had a good friend of mine introduce me to AI. He was in the insurance business. And so he introduced me to Chat GPT. And so I started using that a little bit. And I was amazed at the speed. I mean, you could ask it a question and immediately it was there. So here in the last couple of weeks, I actually upgraded in the Chat GPT, and I'm using it. I had a client here not long ago that wanted to rent her home, and she, didn't care for the long, page after page after page of rental agreement. And she was actually renting the home to a friend of hers. So she wanted just a simple rental agreement. So I went in, I gave Chat, I asked it to help with a rental agreement, gave it the name of the landlord, the tenants, you know, how much, what they're responsible for. And I got to tell you, within about 30 seconds, we had the product and we printed it, and that's the product that was used. Now, having said that, there are those who are afraid, just as when the computers, personal computers, first started coming out, that there was going to be all these jobs lost, you know. So give me your take on, do you think we're going to see mass unemployment because of AI? Or do you think AI is actually going to create more opportunity, which will create more jobs? What are your thoughts?
That is a very hot topic. And lately, I actually I wrote a long article about just that a few weeks ago in LinkedIn and in social media. And the point is, we have been living through revolutions. If we remember the first industrial revolution, people used to do manually, and they would used to use the animals uh, to in the field to sow the seeds and to the agriculture work. The industrial revolution came with machines, machine powered by the river stream, by steam, by different things. Industrial revolution, they said, "Oh my God, they will destroy the way we're living." Far from that, it created more jobs substantially. Same thing happened with the information revolution. Oh, computers will replace the people. Then the internet revolution and the e-commerce. Uh, online bookstores like Amazon will destroy the bookstores all around the world. What happened in reality opened the door for e-commerce as we know it today, creating a massive amount of businesses, creating a massive amount of opportunities for many people. So the key question that you're asking is, does AI will replace the people? Well, honestly, I believe is the contrary, not only from the historic perspective, but for the following reasons. On one side, yes, it will, um, uh, let's say, it will replace certain jobs, entry level jobs, jobs that are required um, for entry level jobs, I would say. But also, it will be creating a bunch of new jobs. In fact, there is a firm that a couple of weeks ago, very famous firm for analysis, market analysis, called Forrester Research. They said rather than eliminating, and I'm reading literally, right? Rather than eliminating roles, Forrester forecasts that AI will augment 20% of jobs over the next 5 years, making it essential for business to invest in employee training and upskilling. And I think that is a prediction that I would like to align with because I think it's right on the spot. AI, in summary, in my opinion, Nick, it will create new opportunities, new skills, and at the end of the day, it will open the door for new jobs.
Well, I can tell you this. I've been playing with AI and experimenting with AI. And the other night, I was sitting in the living room, and so I just simply went to AI and I asked it to do a market analysis of my own home, and I gave it my address, and I wanted comparables. And I got to tell you,
Isn't that wonderful?
oh my gosh, I mean, something that would have taken me probably an hour to go in and do, and researching, the property appraiser site and blah 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 blah. I had it at my fingertips within about 30 seconds. Then I asked it another question. I says, if I wanted to sell my home, could you help me market it? The answer was, oh, absolutely. And call me by name, Nick. Absolutely, Nick. Be glad to help you. Send me photographs. They will put it out. Now, I got to thinking about that. And it seems to me that the industry that might lose is any industry that requires a middleman. And like for instance, a real estate agent or broker, a insurance broker or agent. When now they can go straight to AI and ask it, and AI will give them the answer. And one more example. I read something the other day where someone down in South Florida, he and his wife were paying almost $1,100 a year, every 6 months, I'm sorry, for their automobile insurance. They had two cars. So he just asked AI, can you give me insurance companies that could do two cars? And he gave them the what they were. And I think he even provided the VIN number on each car. And within less than a minute, he had two or three insurance companies come right back, no middleman, and it was 36% cheaper than what he was paying for. Same coverage. So I do see an elimination, but I also think we're just as the computer, just as the calculator, we're going to see many open doors of opportunity in AI.
Correct.
So I don't know, your thoughts on, service, middleman, jobs. I mean, do you agree? Do you think that we're gonna see an elimination of some of those?
Yes, the most impacting, and not only the entry level jobs that I was saying, or that we are referring at this in this case, but also I'm reading some statistics, um, the latest statistics on what the market analyses are predicting where is the major occupational impact in terms of job. Number one, management. Number two, business and finance, corporate, computer and math, architecture and engineering, and life sciences. It also is impacting legal fields. As you said, you put a contract a minute ago, you said a large, many pages contract, you put it into the AI, it will summarize and rewrite the contract to make it simple. You know what I mean? It will be impacting education, arts and media, etc. Has the people has to be afraid of being replaced by AI? Well, what you need to be, everybody has to be aware that there is a new science called AI and start embracing it and start studying, because what is going to be replaced is the people, not the people by the AI. What is going to be the big replacement is the people who doesn't have the skill of working with AI. And that is the big replacement that may be happening.
Uh,
You know what I mean?
you mentioned skills, and that, I had another
Yes.
question I wanted to ask you and get your opinion on.
Please.
I believe
Mhm.
that if someone wanted to start something new, a new job, a new field, wanted to start a new business, if they would simply use AI to give them, um, what they need to do, how they need to do it, I think AI would be right there to offer that. I'm not so sure that you couldn't go in, because I know that geographically AI is, on board, and I'll tell you how I know. Uh, in real estate, again, I mean, I always use real estate. I've been in the real estate industry for over 46 years now, but I went in and asked it, tell me how many homes are on the market for sale in my locale under $400,000. And boom, there it was. And not only did it give me
And
the
you want,
address and the price, it gave me all the information about the home.
yep,
So there you go.
yep.
I mean, now I'm not, let me finish. I'm not so sure that you couldn't say, what do we need? What business would, in your opinion, AI, do we need in the 32034 zip code that we don't have now? And I'm just wondering, I've never tried that, but I'm going to as soon as we finish this podcast today. But I think there's opportunity there. We just have to learn how to use it.
That is completely right. It is the skilling. You started this conversation, this podcast, saying that you believe that a friend of yours told you that AI is like Google on steroid, and you are very, very good in that point. Let me switch a little bit into the real estate business that you're having. We have the information already. You have Zillow, for example, right? In Zillow, you go and you can scout the market manually. You can see the in a geographic or zip code area. You put some filters. Well, Zillow has this information already, but AI does not have that information. What it does, they connect to Zillow at very fast speed, gather all the information from Zillow and from other sources, condensate it, and giving you the answer. So, uh, what does it mean for the middleman? So the middleman needs to understand and how to use these capabilities to and get himself trained in order to be more efficient into that. For example, a realtor can use AI that, like you were saying, to learn what are the trends, what are the movements to get. For example, you can say, on every morning, I want to have a report of my zip code on what is moving, what are the trends according to the seasonal, to the season or to seasonal jobs. If are we in the summer? What is the trend in the past 15 years? What happened in the summer? What happened in the winter? So all these correlations are already there. AI can help you get it. And if you are a smart realtor, you want to learn what the AI and how can you as a person gain the knowledge, the skills, and learn the capabilities to use AI effectively to differentiate you from the competition. And that is exactly what we do in Strato Technologies, right? Um, eh, we are building applications for small businesses. For example, I just wanted to briefly mention, in the case of realtor, when a realtor is visiting or showing a home, how AI can also help while he's working on that. Uh, Typically, they have an office or they have a cell phone, and they receive calls. But while doing this, all the calls will go to the voicemail. He is not able to do both things. When the call goes to the voicemail, what happens? 67% of the people will hang up and call the next realtor. So we created a solution called Strato Voice that will take the call 100% of the time on your name, like your personal assistant working on your number, and say, "Hey, Nick is busy at this moment, but how can I help you? We have properties. You tell me in natural language." And yeah, I would like to see the house that is for rent in Fernandina Beach. Yeah, of course we can. Do you want to set up an appointment? Oh, I would love to do so. Yeah, of course. Sure. I see you're calling from this number. May I have your name? Uh, can I have an appointment for next Monday at 9 a.m.? Of course. Let me book that appointment for Nick, for example. So he does that. And when you're finished your showing, you will have your calendar. Your appointment is already set for Monday morning, and you don't even handle the call. So that is one of the benefits or the added value that AI is giving not only to realtor but to any people. I'm talking about electricians. I'm talking about plumbers, roofers.
you
Everybody can use it. Huh? So
That's exactly what was going through my mind. I mean, anybody that's in business would, could they use that? Absolutely, they could use that. And well, here again, you have a personal assistant. They're never late for work. They never ask for a raise. They never ask for, anything. They're just there to do one thing, and that's to serve you and your business. Oh my gosh. 46
yeah,
years in real
and
estate.
it's never in a bad mood. Yeah,
No, 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 no,
I'm
no. I
sorry.
know.
Go ahead.
I mean, no, I'm just
And you were
thinking,
saying,
I mean, as I'm winding down my career in real estate, which I am, I'm thinking, wow, maybe I want to get back into real estate a little deeper and start using something like that. But there will be other opportunities. I use it a lot. I'm a historian and I love the history of, especially where we live. And I use AI. I'm using that a lot in history and the information that is out there. And I did. I know a lot. I thought I knew a lot until I started using AI. And I've actually found some historical facts that I wasn't aware of. I talked to a lady the other day, and she's using it in her family's genealogy AI, and it's bringing up all this stuff: great, great, great grandmother, grandfather, that kind of, information. I think it's a I think we're on the brink of something very, very big. And I know that anything can be used, everything. I mean, we can use things at our disposal for good, or we can use it for bad. And I know there's a lot of people out there who, it's a concern because AI, just as it remembers my name, it may remember the name of a young child, and that could become, and how we get around that, I don't know. Um, I mean, it is a concern, but I think, like anything, a weapon can be used for good, a weapon can be used for bad. Um, so it's
That's
life. I
correct.
think it's the different phases that we go through in life as new technology presents itself to our society. Now, how can someone get in touch with you?
Well, thank you so much for that. The best way is to send me an email, mestroni@gmail.com, or to call my number, or go online and see the website, gostrato.com. My phone number is 754 So that is my direct phone number, Nick, is if that is a good way to reach out and to be in contact.
Well, I can tell you now, it's amazing to me what's going on, and I thank you so much for being here. Now, one last question. Would you be
Sure.
agreeable to come back, say, say 5 or 6 weeks or so, every other month, and bring us up to date on what's going on in the AI world? And if you would, I would love to have you.
Absolutely. Mhm.
Okay, all right. Well, folks, you heard it. The man agreed, and I'm offering. So it sounds to me like we have a deal. Thank you so much for being with us today. I know it's been very informative. I know I've learned a few things. I'm getting ready as soon as I get off of this podcast today. I'm going to chat GBT, and I'm going to ask it a few additional questions. So, so
Of course,
yeah.
and one final advice that I can tell you is AI is everywhere. There are so many things. We have ChatGPT, we have Claude, we have Gemini from Google. They are all very good, right? But don't get everything all at once. Not everything at the same time. Uh, Go progressively. I think the tools are there for our use and also for our knowledge and expanding our capabilities in terms of skills and what we can do. And of course, I cannot recommend more. And you are, I love the way you refer that. You are all the way into learning more and getting this and discover what AI can do on your daily life. And that is an awesome thing. And nothing more pleasurable than speaking with you. And of course, I will be here and accept your invitation for anything that you need related to AI. Of course,
Well, thank you so much. And again, I thank you and appreciate you being on the show today. And I look forward to having you back at least every other month, and let's, do an update on what's going on in the world of AI. So we'll have all the information how
absolutely,
to
my
get in
pleasure.
touch with Ranieri on the screen. So thank you so much.